Rise and shine, everybody. It's time to wake and bake with Craig Reed and Griff Martin.
It's a Stoned Roadie show. Wake and bake, the morning buzz. Podcast 359. All right then, fellows. Stone Roadie dimension and two-legged creatures. Looky here, looky here. Hey, my name's Craig Reed, a.k.a. the Stone Roadie. And with me, as almost always, my co-host, co-pilot, and the rocket scientist, Griff Martin. And we have Gene Martin on. Gene Martin. we have Gene Odom on the phone, and we're just gonna break right into that, and then I think he's gonna explain some of today's podcast. There, over. So go ahead, there, Griff.
You there, Gene?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you hear him, Craig?
Yeah, I can hear him.
Okay. Hey, Gene, we got Gene Odom here, and the reason I got Gene on here is because we were just about to start the podcast, and Gene called. And yesterday, Gene and I went to the Hell House where the new house was built, and the owner invited Gene and I over to his house. Richard and Lori Gocher, they got a real nice place there, and they wanted Gene to show them where the house was, or the Hell House was back in the day. And they also had some stuff they wanted to give to Gene and stuff we wanted to give to them, and they wanted to donate some stuff. So what did you think about that yesterday, Gene?
I enjoyed it, man. I really enjoyed it. Brought back a lot of memories and stuff.
Yeah, and what better of a guy to buy the Hell House property, because he's a huge Skynyrd fan, and he wants to respect any items that they recovered there, right?
Yeah. He wants to respect all of that and the surroundings of it, and where the Hell House was, and where the Hell House dock was, and he's the right guy to get it, to respect it like that.
And he gave you something kind of cool. He gave you a big old pylon that came out from underneath the Hell House dock when he ripped it out to build his new dock. And that thing probably weighs 300-400 pounds, huh, Gene?
Yeah, certainly. It's probably about, I'd say, 10, 11 feet maybe. And it's there's no telling how long that thing's been sunk down there. I would say, well, they got there, started there about 73, something like that. So that dock was probably built in the 60s, so 60s, 60s, 70, 80, 90, 2010, 20. That pylon's probably been there at Hell House 60 years, and however many years it was underneath that original railroad trestle. I don't tell how old that pylon is, but it's one of four that supported the Hell House dock. It's got some really good Skynyrd history mixed in with it.
And it's actually a part of the original trestle. And they used that trestle to build the original Hell House dock when they ripped the trestle down. Huh, Gene?
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know that.
Yeah, well, like I told you, I had a buddy of mine, Daddy lived across the creek down to the right, and he told me that story way back there. He got some of the wood, and Gohagen got some of the wood, and the top of the dock, the board planking, was actually the X-bracing from the trestle, and the pilings were the original pilings that went down and went down way down into the bed of the creek, And so there's Skynyrd history there for sure.
Yeah, and then he had a friend over there who was his best friend or something like that, Gene. I keep getting it mixed up. That guy that follows the Rolling Stones, and he brought that book and found a page where you were in the book.
Yeah, that's amazing. The Rolling Stones book. My name, Gene Odom, was in that book. I was amazed to see that. Yeah, because technically I wasn't a Rolling Stones employee. I was brought in by the Rolling Stones management, which Peter Rudge, Ronnie's manager, was part of that. And Ronnie set that up for me, and actually he paid me my first $1,000. He said, "Here's your first paycheck." Gave me cash money when I left to go out there with him. you know, and to have my name in that book associated with the Rolling Stones, that's rock and roll history right there by itself, you know.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. You know, I mean, I didn't realize he was showing you that book, and then he goes, and right there's your name, and I love it. Well, I'll be a son of a bitch if Gene ain't in that book, which is pretty cool. Well, one thing we wanted to do is, you know, you got that pylon, and I got video of it, and you are wanting to sell that now that you know that's been given to you to do with it whatever you want. And you said that you'll sell it and deliver it to whoever's got the right price. Now it's kind of a unique thing. It's a big old heavy piece of pylon that came from a railroad trestle used for a famous rock and roll band's dock. But there's some things could be done with that too. And you also have the Curtis Lowe light post that was out in front of the Curtis Lowe store. You could, we were talking about, you could cut the end of that pylon off and maybe shove that pole in there and clean it up, put a light on it, and somebody have a nice little piece of history.
Claude Midway meets the Curtis Lowe grocery store. But yeah, it'd be only two pieces of that exist for that with that kind of history, you know. So maybe so, you know, and I could use the money to put toward that monument thing. But yeah, if somebody got interested, you know, and the money be right, and I'd deliver it because it's heavy sucker, you know. And that post, I mean the flagpole, light pole from the Curtis Lowe store, you know, I had to use my truck. I delivered if somebody, you know, bought it and wanted to, was serious. You know?
That to the normal human, it just looks like junk, but we know it's not junk because it's, you know, it's like a piece of history, and you know, there's some pretty I guess you would say good clout as to where it came from. So, you know, you've got your you could have a nice letter of authenticity with it and things like that. So,
well, it's got rock and roll history, Ronnie Van Zant history, and that pylon is actually part of the doc where Ronnie sat down and wrote the words to Sweet Home Alabama, one of the greatest rock and roll songs of all time.
And
billion downloads, you know.
John and he also Rich he also said that he would be willing to donate things that he has to anybody that's, you know, reputable person that wants it, you know, like if it were, say, Leslie Hawkins, or, you know, even, you know, like maybe Ed King's wife, or, you know, somebody that might want some of that stuff, any of the guys that were on the plane, or, you know, so if anybody's watching this and they're interested in that, get with me or get with Gene, and you know, we'll talk to him about it. But what a nice guy he was, isn't that right, Gene?
Yeah, really spectacular guy. I mean, friendly as he could be, and you know, I'm kind of amazed at the magnitude of that house he built.
Yeah, nice house.
Oh my God, that's unbelievable. You know, that's a several $1 million home. You know, and so. It's good that he has that kind of respect for the Hell House property and the association of the Hell House and the band and all that, and he enjoys it, and it leaves a mark, you know. That mark won't never leave. You know?
And you know, it's nice to know that a person like that is actually the person that has it. So we got the footage from the interview and everything, and we're going to jump into this podcast, and we're going to go ahead and unwrap it. So appreciate you coming on, Gene, and everybody's heard that you know, you wanting to get rid of that stuff. Anything else you want to say?
Yeah, I want to say one thing. A couple of weeks back, a week back, whatever, when podcast, Craig, or on Facebook, he had posted. He was, when I said he was 1,000 times higher than the high is when he was so high, you know, that's got to be what rigor mortis looks like. Is he listening?
Yeah, he's laughing. He's laughing at you. Well,
You were so high, now it did float up to the ceiling.
well, he just held up about a gallon of Jack Daniel's whiskey and then another fifth that he got from somewhere. So that rigor mortis is going to be getting worse by the time he breaks into that. So I don't know, man.
Ain't nobody that high. I ain't never seen nobody to look like that. That's unbelievable. Of course, I didn't hang around with people like that anyway, except the band members and those guys. But people you hang around with, when they get drunk and all that other stuff. But I ain't never seen anything like that. I said that's got to be what rigor mortis looks like.
And then when I was helping you load that thing in the back of your truck, you had a beer can in the back of your truck, and I said, Gene, well, you did, have you decided to start drinking? You said, no, that's my grandson. So
Take that load of stuff to the dump, and him and his buddies, when they go turkey hunting or hunting, they'll drink a beer too. And he's 23, 24, 25 years old,
right.
And some of the cans I crush them up and save them for the thrift store. They'll have a fundraiser, and they'll say, we're taking people's cans, bring your aluminum cans down, and I'll take a bucket of aluminum cans down there and give them to the thrift store.
Yeah, that's good. Pass it forward, pay it forward. All right, Gene. Well, we appreciate the words, man, and then we'll go ahead and I'll show that video of the posts and everything so everybody can get an idea of what they're looking at. And then if anybody wants to contact you, they can contact me or contact you. All right, Gene, be careful. All right, bye. All right, Craig. Well, we'll go ahead and start like we normally do. I think you got some stuff to show, and
yeah, got a new T-shirt for sale. This is a really cool one. This came from Barry and Teresa Gaines. Actually, I think the connection was Karina Gaines got this shirt. This is a shirt you had to get through Barry and Teresa Rapp, directly through them. I know you see a lot of different styles of Steve Gaines shirt, but this is actually one that you had to get through Barry and Teresa Rapp. Teresa Gaines. He said he got it off of Karina. I think he contacted Karina and got it off of her. And he sent it to me in the original envelope that from Barry and Teresa. So, to verify that this is where it came from. It's an extra large, and he said he wore it once. It's a nice shirt. So, yeah, it's up for auction. And he doesn't want his name mentioned. He just wants to, do it, with no recognition. So cool.
Cool. We appreciate that.
So there you go. So, yeah, that's up for auction for the survivors. And then we got this jacket that, there's no bids on this anymore because it's an extra large, but it's a woman's extra large. And the guy that was bidding on it is too small for him. Because I tried it on and it fits me, but the sleeves are short on it.
I think I know somebody who's going to be bidding on that, but I'm not sure about that. They did mention it. I don't want to mention their name in case they change their mind.
Well, yeah. But, yeah, it's a nice jacket.
It's a nice jacket. I like it.
Woman's. It's forget what You and Me. Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah. Okay, well there you have a jacket and a T-shirt, both extra large. One of them's a female, ladies.
And then we got this other small T-shirt. There's no bids on this one yet. This is Saturday night special with Kathy Godsey, Craig Reed and Kathy Godsey, the Stone Roadie show. So, the Ganja Oil Company and Leaky Bong. And then Oh, then we got the this is the Cracker Barrel. We call this the Cracker Barrel shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah, these are all larges. This is a large. There's no bids on that one. And then this is I think that this is the heroin shirt. This is a $25 bid on this one. I would
Yeah,
call
that's
that the
Craig.
heroin.
He had some pictures that
Yeah.
that we had that he sold or auctioned off, and that's the ones where he said that's Craig Reed on heroin.
Yeah, that's the Stone Roadie on heroin there. And there's a $25 bid on that one. And then there's this one here. And we don't have any bids on this one yet. The Stone Roadie Show, Saturday night special. That's a pretty cool shirt.
Yeah, I like that. That's nice.
Yeah, I do too.
Which is that a man's?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's a
okay.
man's. It's an extra large. No, it's a large. I'm sorry. All these are larges. All these are all these are larges. Except for the salmon colored one, the peach colored one. That's
Okay.
a small one.
Gotcha.
And then Donald Johnson's got $25 bid on this one too.
Yeah, what size is that, Craig?
It's a large.
Large? Okay.
He's got a
Cool.
$25 bid on that one too. And
Well, that's a lot of
there's
shirts.
Yeah. And then there's the portrait, the 8x10 portrait, oil portrait by Javier Medina did all these, yeah. And then there's the belt buckle. There's no bids on the belt buckle yet. It's a pretty cool belt buckle. Eagle belt buckle.
And so if anybody is interested in that, then you can contact Craig at thestonedroadie@gmail.com. And you can ask him any questions you want about any of the items and place a bid. You know, anything you have to ask Craig, just email him at thestonedroadie@gmail.com.
Yeah. Yeah. Looks like about 3" by 2".
That's pretty heavy belt buckle right there.
Yeah, it's a nice belt buckle.
Yeah.
Nice.
Kimmy, you were talking about that belt buckle, weren't you? Oh, you've got a belt buckle that you want to send us. That's what it is. Yeah, okay, Kimmy. Whenever you get a chance, send that to Craig. So is that all of the stuff for the auction, Craig?
Yeah, except for Cousin Feigl. He's been sending in every dang week he sends in says he's been having dreams, nightmares or dreams or whatever about Gene Odom, about the flare dripping in Gene Odom's eye.
Really?
Yeah, it's weird. He says, and he's sent him $300 here in the last. Oh, let me get a sheet here.
Well, I think the nightmare's over. I mean, he already had it drip in his eye and everything. You know, it's healed up. But
and then $300 here recently for Gene Odom. Yeah, Gene Odom. He's been getting quite a bit of more money and stuff than the other survivors have been. But Cousin Feigl also sent in this this ticket stub, and it's from 38 Special, and it's from 2007. This is when Cousin Feigl had the band sign that hat, Ronnie's hat that we had on here that Robert Wheatley bought off of Cousin Feigl, and this is the ticket stub from that where he had the autograph signed, and he had Don Barnes sign it on the back there. So yeah, we're going to auction this off.
Cool.
If somebody wants this. Pretty cool. It's from where is this from? Communities Concert Hall. Doesn't say. Doesn't say where it's from. Oh well, somewhere out west.
But it's got Don Barnes' signature on it, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Well,
I forget where it's from.
that makes it reputable.
Yep. So yeah. So
Well,
he wrote it, but he said, "This is a concert I went to where Don Barnes and Larry Johnstrom signed the RVZ hat that Robert Wheatley bought from me. This is a show in Durango, Colorado, at the Fort Lewis College. Yeah, cool. So there you go.
Well, if anybody is interested in that 38 special item, we could go ahead and throw in, one of these. It's a 38 special 2005 tour backstage pass, and this is a real one. It's just let's see, we got, I think, 5 of them. So if anybody wants to get that done, I mean, they could keep it together, and that would be kind of like a 38 special thing that you could put this with. So if anybody's interested in that ticket that Craig has, and you want one of these to go with it, we can work that out. So contact Craig and let him know your thoughts, and if you want to get it, make him an offer.
Yeah.
What else you got, Craig?
Well, Jeffrey Barkley, he sent in $100.
Cool. Thanks, sir, Jeffrey. They appreciate you.
Yeah, he sent in $100.
Yeah, you guys are doing good.
Jack Miller, he don't want his name on his document. I gave him, and he sent me another 20. That he don't want his name on the document. So there you go, Jack. He sent in 120 here so far. We're going to send him out one of them sticker packages that we have with the sticker and the document, limited edition of 50 for $100 on a document of authenticity. Mary Stokey.
Smokey.
You should know that. Smokey. Hey, Smokey. She bought one of them pictures off of Griff.
Yeah, she did.
Yeah, that's what she did.
Yeah, she did.
Yeah.
And I still have 4 of those left, actually.
Thank you very much, Mary Smokey. And Kevin Rourke. I hope I got his name spelled right.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
$150. I didn't know whether to put an E on the end of that name. The Gene Odom Chicago picture. He said he's got one of them. I don't know the deal with that one. You said he bought a picture and then donated 100.
Yeah, he bought a picture for $50 and gave an extra 100. So
there you go.
Gene has already got that money. I handed it to him when I saw him. He's got that and Mary Smokey's money, and there's some more people you're getting ready to name.
Yeah. All this picture money, Gene's already got this money plus the 855. Is that what I sent him? 855
like
last week. Yeah. So, and then he's got another 300, almost 300 already saved, added up here, ready to send. I shouldn't have told him that. He'll want me to send it. Mark DeWitt send in $50 for Gene. One of them. What's that, Griff? $50 for one of them.
Yeah, appreciate that, Mark.
Yeah, which Gene's already got the money. And Marshall Connor. He got one of them pictures. He sent Griff the money, and Griff gave the money to Gene. So thank you there, Marshall O'Connor. Your generosity, all y'all.
Yes, sir.
And Jiminy Christmas, here we go. Griff's an professional artist. He sells his artwork. $50 for Gene Odom. Yeah, there you go. So yeah. So
Thank you, Cynthia.
Griff's artwork got in.
Well, no, that's this, Craig. That's this photo right here. That's
oh,
and
okay.
there's still 4 more of these.
Okay, yeah. Oh well.
That's all right.
He's still a pretty good artist anyway. Yeah. Cynthia Martin, $50. There you go. For one of them Chicago pictures. Yeah, I'm dazed and confused here. Don't know long or so not true. So geez. I guess that's about all I got going on.
Well, that's quite a bit, man. That's that's a lot of donations and stuff for up for auction. So, yeah, you guys, yeah, if you got any questions,
yeah, and then we got
STONED at gmail.com.
Oh yeah, we also got this from
oh yeah,
Monica Tuesday, the Ryman Theater package from Gary Rossington, which I'll write a document that it came from Monica and through the STONED Roadie show and was a donation to the Forgotten Survivors.
Now somebody, Craig, sent
hang on your wall.
They sent me an email and said that
here's one of the, in case you're not familiar with one of my documents, I don't know what this one says. Oh, this is a sticker document. This is what they look like.
Yeah, there's your letter of authenticity.
Yeah, for a sticker document, that's what they look like. You can hang on your wall. This is gold. It's not coming out very good on thing, but it's a gold trim.
And somebody
Nice
sent
document.
me an email, Craig, and said that CD was, I think they saw it on eBay or something.
$20 or something.
$28. $28.
28. Yeah, 28.
So
yeah.
You know, if you can get close to that, then, you know, that'll work.
Yeah, well, you know, this is for a donation, you know, so.
Right, yeah. Plus you get a letter of authenticity signed by
Yeah,
Gregory.
so well, yeah, you can hang on your wall. If you choose to. And that's all I got going on there, Griff.
Well, we got a lot of video to watch, and we probably shouldn't jibber jabber too much more because you guys will be on here all morning. But just to let you know, I told you guys that I was going to go to the Hell House property and meet the owner of the new house that they built on Hell House, and we're going to interview him, and I was going to fly the drone and did all of that stuff like I promised. Appreciate the owners of the property inviting Gene and I over, and they were really nice people and made some good friends, and they said I could come back whenever I want and bring a friend, but you know, I wouldn't do that unless I had somebody special to take over, like maybe Joe Crimp. You know, Joe Crimp, go over there and he can enlighten them on some stuff, you know, that happened down there. And another thing that happened was he had a scuba diver, which is I think the guy that bought Whitey's. Now, I didn't know that Whitey's got sold and they gutted it and they're redoing the inside of it. And I guess one of the owners of Whitey's used to do some diving or something. He came out to the Hell House property and went and dove in the creek, and I guess they found this bottle out there, and there's some dock nails in this bottle. I'm not sure what that bottle's period of, or who knows. It could have been anybody's trash, or it could have been Ronnie Van Zant's bottle. You never know. And also, they found a piece of a TV out there, and Joe Crimp was telling me that I think it was the what was it? Helter Skelter movie. He said they had a TV back in the early 70s out there by that tree that was out front. I guess they were watching it outside. Maybe it was too hot inside, and they watched Helter Skelter. And he said that it was on a TV that looked a lot like that. And he says, I don't see why that wouldn't have made it in the creek, because he said if anybody was going to throw a TV in a creek, it would probably be one of those guys. So, there's a good chance that TV may have came from one of those guys that, they just went out there and threw it in the creek, or it could have been somebody else's trash. But it's a pretty cool item to have, and Rich has that, and he's going to keep it for a keepsake. So there's another story.
It was a TV. It was a TV that was there before I was there, because I don't remember a TV ever being out there. So the TV was that must be the TV that was the last one that was there, because I don't remember one being there. Not that there wasn't, but I just don't remember it.
Yeah, Joe said there was several TVs that he remembers them having, and he said he thinks he remembers they had a window shaker air conditioner out there at one time, but it couldn't keep up. It
wasn't there when I was out there.
Yeah, that's crazy. I don't know how you guys stood that heat.
Oh, God. And that sulfur water, you got kind of used to that kind of.
Do you know a story about some guy had his motorcycle out there, and Alan kept bugging him to ride it, and he wouldn't let Alan ride it, and he went to the bathroom, and Alan got on it and was riding it, and he rode it off the dock into the creek?
I don't remember that, no.
Yeah, it's because there's supposedly that motorcycle's on the bottom of the creek, but the guy didn't find it. So that could be an urban myth. But
I think that was a myth. I never heard that story.
Yeah, I didn't.
I'm sure that would have been one that I heard, and I never.
Yeah, heard. I would have thought. But
that's a pretty good one.
That's another one you can't discount, because it's not like he wouldn't do something like that. I can see him doing something like that. But yeah, and then I took that drone, and as soon as I got there, I said to Rich, I said, hey, man, I don't mean to, just jump in here and take over or anything. I said, but I want to fly this drone while the weather's still good and not raining, because we've been having a lot of rain down here in Florida. And he said, yeah, he said, go ahead and do that. And so the wind was really bad, and I was kind of scared to fly that drone in that wind, because I was afraid I'd lose it. But I also did not want to come back without footage, drone footage from the Hell House property. So I flew it, and it worked great. It's great aerial view of the Hell House property. So you guys are going to have to stick around for that. And then all of the stuff that we talked about there in the video that we got for you on Hell House property, along with the drone footage. So that's going to be on the end of this podcast here. So we're going to hold off on the comments and the questions, because we got too much stuff going on. So unless you got anything else, Craig, we'll just go ahead and jump right into the video.
Yeah, happy trails to you until we meet again, and see you later, alligator, at the Wild Crocodile. And that's it for Craig Reed and Griff Martin on this portion of the Stone Roadie Show. And stay tuned for this video that's coming up next. And yeah, here we go.
On the road with Griff Martin, and here I am in Green Cove Springs, Florida, and I'm right here on Russell Road, which is the entrance to the Hell House property. And it's a a subdivision now. And what we're going to do is we're going to go in here and we're going to go to the piece of property where the Hell House sat, which actually back then was 90 acres. Now it's one lot with a house on it. It's a brand new house. And Gene Odom and myself were invited over by the owners to take a look at the way things look now. You know, it doesn't look anything like it did back in the day. So we're going to go visit with the owners that bought the property, talk to them, see what their feelings are about living there and what things are like, and kind of like a little history on how they came about getting the property and what they feel like as far as living there. So yeah, we're gonna go check that out. It's gonna be cool. Now we're driving through the subdivision here, and this was all Hell House property, and this is a different route coming into the property that the guys in the band would have taken. They were more to my left, and it was a dirt road that came way out here to the back of the property. And at the back of this property back here is where the Peters Creek is. So this road winds on around and runs into the road that took you to the Hell House. Now, I wonder if these kids here have any idea how valuable this property is for the history of rock and roll. And right here you can see Freebird Loop, which is, that sign's always getting stolen, you know. And then right up here is Tuesday's Circle. So yeah, they've got the roads named after things that were associated with Lynyrd Skynyrd, you know. Now this road comes around here, and then this kind of runs into the road that brought you to Hell House. Now, I can't even recognize this anymore, so I'm gonna have to call the owners who invited me and see exactly where it is. I think it's this house right here, this big white house with the metal roof. I think that's it right there. But we'll find out soon enough. Okay, I'm standing in front of Richard, and I believe it's Gocher is how you pronounce it, but I'm going to ask him and get that straightened out. But I'm standing in front of his house, and right here is where the Hell House property, or the Hell House, used to be. And of course, this was the road that came into the Hell House, which is paved and part of the neighborhood. And as you can see, all these houses that are built out here. And the first time I came out here wasn't a single house. And so we're gonna go inside, and Gene's in there, and we're gonna introduce these people, the owner of the property, and then we're gonna take Gene out back, and we're gonna get his expression of what it looks like and get him to explain a little bit about where the Hell House was, so the owner can know exactly where it was and stuff like that. So we're going to go in and do that now.
Lot number 129 and lot number 128. That property is where the actual Hell House set. I'll show you, but the Hell House set right in by that cedar tree. And they got these two lots divided up. This one is 60 point of an acre. That one is a half an acre. This is basically a half an acre lot. You know what they want for this lot?
How much?
$400,000, $395,000.
Wow, just because they know that the Hell House.
Yeah. So you could, the Hell House property, $800,000 or what it could buy.
Good Lord.
Lord is right. Ronnie Van Zant would have a heart attack. That poor old John, let's go Hagen would definitely do that.
So we're out here on the Hell House property, which is a big spread, and they turned it into a subdivision. And then these lots are where the Hell House was. The Hell House was a place where they practiced.
Where all that great Skynyrd music comes from.
It's where all the Lynyrd Skynyrd music came from, and Ronnie used to come out here on the dock and hear him play and come up with lyrics. Well, the good thing is, I guess, you don't have to sneak over there by the railroad track anymore.
No. Better watch out for rattlesnakes, cottonmouth.
Where's the cedar tree you were talking about?
Right there.
That's the cedar tree?
The cedar tree that when you drive by, I can identify the property. There's another one on here somewhere. But that cedar tree right there is how you identify this property. By not knowing it, you know. The dock is right down there. The Hell House actually set, the dock's right down there. The Hell House actually set right in this area right here. This is where the Hell House sits. You're standing on the Hell House property where the music came from.
Well, it is a really nice, quiet place.
Now, and if you pay $400,000 this lot, you can't build past that to the water. You can't build past that.
Yeah.
That's a floodplain now. And you can only build up here if you build. Of course, you can build.
That's the creek that Ronnie fished in right there.
That's Peters Creek. It goes out into the Black Creek, which goes out into the St. John's River. But this is a tributary off of a creek that comes off of the St. John's River. There used to be a monster gator out here, and I'm sure there still is some gators.
And back in the day, in the late 60s, you'd come out here fishing?
Yeah, man, certainly. Late 60s, early 70s, and all the way up to 76, when we built the 76 and 77, when we built the studio over there. This was the spot, the Hell House. The original dock is under this one. A guy that stayed here as a caretaker for the people that bought the property for years. You know what? A gator just went down right there. See that big old wave?
I heard a splash when we came up here.
There's a gator right there. He just went down. A small one. That was a gator right there, buddy. Guarantee it.
Yeah, I heard a big splash.
That was a gator. He come over that grass and went in the water.
Well, the other dock must have been pretty close to the water.
Well, the
There's water up, is it?
Water's up now because of all the rain we've had, yeah. And but the old dock is under there. Whoever buys this, I'm gonna come down here one day, if I can, before they do it. If somebody buys it, I'm gonna say, if you're gonna build a new dock and you tear this up, I want them old boards underneath here. If I can get.
Yeah, you can make some picture frames out of that.
If I can get to them before they tear it up.
'Cause I think it's underwater, or I can see it right there. It's just right at the surface.
Yep. Yeah, that's the reason we're talking down there, right? Because the water is up because of all that rain we've been having. If we be quiet, that old gator will come up.
Looks like it'd be some good fishing in here, huh?
There is some good brim fishing, bass fishing, and right time of the year, there's some big old stripers that come through here. Back then, we didn't know that, but you got to know when they come through and what to fish when you catch them stripers.
So there was a little trail that went right up there, and then the Hell House sat right up there
The Hell House was right
near
up
that cedar tree.
there, between right up there, this side of that cedar.
And this big old pine was here all along, right?
I'm sure it was. I'm sure it was.
Okay, here we are, and we're in Richard Gocher's house. I'll butcher a name now. And I got Gene and Richard here, and this is Richard right here. And Richard, thank you so much, man. We appreciate you inviting us over. And yeah, it's really cool that you invited us over.
To just be fair, it's Laurie's house, my wife's. I just happen to live here.
Okay, that's how it should be.
Okay, there we go.
If it ain't, you're in trouble.
Exactly
And
right.
let's get these guys. What's you guys' names here? You're his brother.
I'm Richard's brother-in-law, Keith Johnson.
Okay, and you're his friend.
Chris from Gainesville.
Yeah.
Moon pies. I used to take the bottles to the store.
Gene, you guys ready to walk out back here and take a
Yeah,
look?
man.
Oh, you got you a soda.
Get my RC.
Gene's all about a RC. You need a moon pie. You gotta have a
Okay,
moon.
you want to hold on 1 second. Because
I think he's gonna get you a moon pie, Gene.
Man, oh yeah, golly, man, this is it. This is
An
cool.
RC and a moon pie.
This is cool. Me and my RC.
You must have heard him tell that before, huh, Rich?
Yes, sir. And the question is,
Try to do our homework.
is it a banana or a chocolate moon pie?
Chocolate one. Either
You know,
one.
banana ain't worth shit, just saying. Chocolate's where it's at.
You know what? Since you're saying that, I've been trying to find a way to come up with some money and do a show somewhere around the area. It's going to be called the Moon Pie and Southern Rock Festival.
All right, so moon pie, there you go. There's your first...
And have a moon pie eating
Moon pie.
contest.
Hold that up, Gene. A moon pie and an RC. I mean, I can at least get a screenshot from that, huh? Look at that. And
Anyone else want a moon pie?
have you ever eaten?
Yeah.
I'm good. Have you ever eaten a moon pie and drank an RC out here on the Hell House property, Gene?
Probably so, but I can't remember back 50 years.
Here you are, 50 years later, doing it again. Just what would Ronnie think if he knew right now you were standing in this nice home talking to a Lynyrd Skynyrd fan on the Hell House property where that old shack used to stand?
He'd say, just go for it, Gene, you know.
He's probably up there looking down going, Gene, you lucky son of a gun, man.
This right here was some of the most famous music that was ever written.
Oh
And here you go.
God.
Just a few months ago, Sweet Home Alabama, that was written on that dock. Clicked over 1 billion downloads.
Yeah.
Taylor Swift territory.
And
what I said-
Freebird on the Budweiser commercial.
Yeah.
And they played Freebird at the Olympic hockey team.
Yep.
Yeah, it's not getting old, is it?
Hell no. It's,
Man,
it's
I'm telling
America.
you. And they come from right here.
Yeah, right here where you're standing, all that great music.
Man, I'm telling you.
I mean, there's some mojo floating around here, you know?
It's some history.
Yeah,
and
you
I'm
s-
sure that people still, they may not be able to find it now unless they got the address. Come down on boats and still come by here and throw stuff out, drink a beer, smoke a joint or something down there. Still, at nighttime, I'm sure they do.
Find it regularly.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
I know they
Gene,
come
let's
by.
walk out back here, and I want you to show Richard where you think that Hell House sat.
Okay.
I told him where I thought it sat, and I could
Well,
be totally wrong.
I'm going to be within a couple of inches.
Yeah, I think you'll dial it right in.
Yes, sir, I guarantee it. Well, let's
And
go-
I told him where I thought it was, but
Well, I
of course.
Let me set this. Well, let me set it
Will you
down.
hold something?
I'm all right. Yeah.
Well, I'm glad I flew that drone when I did because it's sprinkling now.
No, it's supposed to end at 3.
But it was raining like a bitch coming up here.
Now, Rich, you thought it was right here, right? You thought it was right here.
I thought it was somewhere in here.
You're right on the money.
Is that? Because I thought it was over there, Gene.
No, some of it would be on that side of the fence.
Was it this close to the water, though?
Yeah, right here. When you
Well, I'll be darned.
Don't go, no.
when you came, the door on the Hell House faced this way.
Okay.
Yeah, the door on the Hell House faced this way.
And it was this close to the creek?
Yeah,
I'll be darned. You were right, Richard.
I'm gonna open that thing up here.
I'm going to open it for you.
All right. Yeah, right here, and some of it would.
I would never
actually-
take your moon pie from you.
Some of it
saying.
was actually on that guy's property there. I'm not going to say as much as half because it's been way too long. But Joe Crimp could do. But if the cedar tree was there,
Yeah, the cedar
Yes.
tree was about there then. I thought the cedar tree was right beside the Hell House.
it was in front of it, and it would the cedar tree would be somewhere up here, up here.
So those guys 50 years ago were sitting right here making music and just
Cheers.
kicking them out, one after another. And here you stand 50 years later.
I sit here. I have the honor to sit here and bar over there, and I think of that on a regular basis. You know, and just I look out the back door and I just see a bunch of American icons making music right here. It's
That old
really
pine
cool.
tree right there wasn't there.
Which one?
The old pine tree.
This one?
And do you hear what happened
That
to
one
the
might
pine
not have been
tree that
either.
was by
When-
the dock? It
When he was building the other house.
Okay.
Most of these trees have grew up since he went to the penitentiary. You know?
You know, you're a good person to ask this question. You want to walk down the dock? Mm-hmm. Come on. These hitching posts right here, do you have any idea why they're there?
Those posts?
Yes, sir.
They were later, right, Gene? They were like, didn't he have like some wrestling
Well, the guy,
matches out here or something?
I think those guys that was staying in his sister's house that was watching this place, the same ones that built the top on top of the original dock. Those were the boys that stayed in that house.
Okay. I didn't know if they might have been hitching posts since for the Civil War, or I didn't know when it might be put out here.
Yeah, no, that was some old boys that was hanging out here.
Yeah, that's probably put out here in the 80s or something.
Okay.
Huh, Gene?
Well, I'm not going to touch that. Those are going to stay no matter what anyway.
Before they got run off.
Yeah, you might need to get that sign back from Johnny and put it back up.
Well,
Right here.
let me explain that sign to you. You know what that sign is?
Do I know where it is?
You know what it is?
It's a historical marker, right? The
first word you said, historical marker. You know what historical means?
in the past.
The past is heritage, Florida heritage. It was made by the state of Florida as a historic marker. It's against the law for anybody to take it off his property. All you got to do is talk to a lawyer and give Johnny a call and say, Johnny, that belongs to his property, but you might not want to do that. I mean, you might not, you might want Johnny to keep it, but if it was mine, it was made by the state of Florida for this property, I'd say, Johnny, I want it back.
Yeah. Well,
And if he wants to give you shit, get call a lawyer.
I don't think he wants to make enemies with him, though.
Oh no. This is.
How did you get that Jeep back here?
Oh, I built a pathway. I made sure that when we built
You
the
got
house.
a gate that opens up? And...
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Just where those rocks were, where you thought it was before.
Yeah.
That was made that big so I can get a Jeep down here.
I had the Hell House way up there on the left-hand side of his house.
Let me bring this to your attention. Right now, you got to worry about it. But down through, you got to watch out for cottonmouth moccasins.
Found one the other day.
Did you?
Got it killed too.
Okay, there you go. But they're out here. You have to keep an eye on it, especially got any kids. And young people
you
run
saw
around.
my dogs. I'm worried about those.
Yep.
So I can't let them down here too much.
Yeah, because the big gators.
Yeah, that too. Okay.
I don't know if Jaws is still here.
The 14-footer. Is that you told me?
Yeah,
I haven't
about
seen
700 pounds.
My brother-in-law found a 10-footer down at the corner,
At least.
and we found a 6-footer over here the
Really?
other day.
They're here.
Wow, what a difference.
I guarantee
Rich?
you they're building these docks.
Where was that
Old
pine
Jaws
tree
probably
at?
slid off somewhere.
Oh, there it is. There's the
Right
stump.
Story behind that, just since we're filming and talking, when we took the dock out, that tree started leaning over instantly that way. I did not want to take that out, but that was about to go in the creek and possibly even hit the neighbor's dock, and I wasn't going to have, because that
You know-
thing was 40 feet plus high. Don't
You know
think?
why I did that? When you pull them pylons out, you loosen up that bit, man.
Oh, totally. And you saw the ground move. And this is the section right here that just lifted off the ground, and you could see it going.
Yeah.
And I talked to several tree people, I was like, can we save it? And they said, hell no. And so we came down and cut it down, unfortunately. But you can see that post right there. That's where the dock was. That's as far up as it went. And all along this ridge right here.
That's where the dock was.
And it probably didn't go past our feet, too far out here.
Probably not.
Because it was more inland than it was out here. And then right there, Griff, if you want to get that, that is the there's 4 foundation pilings there. And one of those are going to go home with Gene today.
Oh, okay. Boy,
Yeah.
those things are massive.
They are.
Yeah.
And we're going to see if Gene can have it if he can lift it. How about that? That's
Is
how
that
we're gonna do it.
concrete? Was that down there
You ain't lifting
underneath
the thing,
it?
by the
That
way.
piece of
That's part of that.
concrete?
That's part of that foundation
Yep.
of the house that he was building after they burned everything down.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, and if you kind of cruise down here, you can still see a little bit of the foundation. You saw the water has been very low for until today.
Oh yeah.
With the northeaster coming in, that pushed all the water in here today. So water's high, but like 2
Well,
days
the
ago,
river's
you
high.
could
That's
see
why
it.
they haven't turned the pump on to pump all that water down to Middleburg. You know that?
No.
Oh yeah. They put a pipeline in 17 miles all the way down to
Over here and take a look at these pylons. That's,
Keystone Heights
some history.
to pump all those.
Here's the pylons that are left over from the dock. And he's going to give one of these to Gene. It's going to take all of us to get in that truck.
I didn't know that.
And there's some deep holes where some of those springs are up by Jackie and Ray's. There's like an 80-foot hole or what.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow, I had no idea.
Yeah.
Luke told me that.
Spring fed.
Yeah.
Yep, no doubt.
So Get this one on camera because I've got a question for Gene. Now, when you're coming out here and these high school friends are making music, right? I come down here right before the dock, we had to take the dock out to build a new one. They had to throw stuff in this creek and river. They had to do some crazy stuff.
Yeah.
Did they not?
Needs to be some
Yeah.
scuba diving out there.
Well, it's happened.
Has it?
Yes, sir.
Well, some people came out here before it was a big thing to, what do you call it?
Come on in. Yeah. Don't want to get wet. Let me go on this side over here.
Magnet fishing.
Oh,
They did that this out here. Even before anybody knew it, they magnet fished out here way, way, way back.
and just grabbing whatever they could out of there?
They throw that because people don't know it. Look right out there, it goes down like 20 something
Yes, sir.
feet.
Did you find anything, Rich?
Well, since we're filming, I want to give proper credit. One of our good friends is Luke Lawley. He's one of the owners of Whitey's. He was a Navy diver for 22 years. Incredible stories if you ever meet the guy.
Wow.
Great guy. And I said, Luke, you want to come dive here and see what you can find? And he dove and was all in here. And he got down about 18, 20 feet instantly.
Yeah.
And it's all sand. He's like, it's almost like quicksand down there.
Muck.
No, it is.
It's
He
sand.
said it's soft, that he can sink down in it.
That's muck.
And he looked, and we found I've got it inside, the front piece of a Magnavox little TV, little picture, plastic frame. Probably.
Alan Collins threw it in the river.
And that's what I'm thinking, is that some goofy some bitch in that group was just having fun and threw that shit in there. And
I guarantee it.
it.
Out of that hell
Yeah,
house.
I do too, and that's why I'll never throw it away. Anything I find, I won't throw it away.
Well, if they throw a Magnavox in a pool at a hotel, why wouldn't they throw one in shingle?
Where they're at all the time.
But people magnet fish here long before it became famous on TV, whatever.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, people.
Is there any truth to a motorcycle going in here?
There was. I think it might have been Alan
Did you
Collins.
find it?
We didn't find it, and he thinks that it's so soft that it's either underneath. The currents, I can't believe it'd move a motorcycle. And the guys that built this dock, another great guy, I had them looking. It's like if you hit anything, and we thought we found it one day.
Yeah.
It was just a piece of metal.
When you got to ask about that, Joe Crimp. Joe Crimp can tell you yes or no for sure.
Oh,
I
really?
didn't hear
Oh,
the
yeah.
story
And he-
about the motorcycle.
I think it was Alan Collins. But Joe Crimp can answer that for you for sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. But like I said, that muck and that stuff is down there. There's no telling how deep it is for all the thousands of years of those leaves and all that stuff
Yeah.
being in this creek, you know. You seen any manatees yet?
Yes, sir.
They come down here.
They come by. So Keith lives on the St. Johns River, and there'll be 10, 12, 18 hang by his dock. He's on you go out a little bit, right? Yep. So good crabbing, good.
Oh,
We see
yeah.
manatee out there. We see all kinds of stuff. So, yeah, but they come in here. I'm surprised they make it all the way up here, but they will go
They
up
go
the
back-
river, up the creek.
When they run out of lily pads out in the river, they come up in here and start eating these lily pads.
Yeah.
Rich, there's something missing here. You know what it is that's missing? A daggone boat, right?
Oh yeah. He's got this $1 million boathouse.
Yeah.
Because the next time we come, we want to go out on the boat.
Well, fair enough. We got to get power here. We're still working. We just got powered there, and we're going to run power here in the next week or two. So then we get that lift
You're
working.
working on it.
Yep.
You
Yep.
need any power cables?
We are all good. I've got a friend in the business that gave us everything.
I don't
So
tell you that old Shep that grew up with us, went to school with Ronnie. He has out on the west side of Normandy Boulevard. He has Shep's discount. Anything in the world you want is in there. I'm talking about anything. And he's got rolls, brand new rolls and rolls and rolls and rolls and rolls of wire that you can get cheap. You know, he buys all kind of stuff from
free is better than cheap these days.
Yeah.
My buddy Jeff Waddell, Keith knows him real well. He's taking care of us out here. So
Yeah, well, you're doing a good job, man.
Gene
It's-
said that those guys used to go swimming out here too.
Yeah, they jump good. So
Can you
hot.
imagine? Would you go swimming out there?
I might have done that already, but yeah,
They are so hot.
I'd get
down
out
there
real
now.
quick.
Yeah, those moccasins are kind of scary.
I'm worried about the gators, but yeah.
The gators in there. The last time I saw Jaws, I was down here with somebody took on tour. And Jaws came out of that inlet there and was headed toward the bridge.
Just creeping on out.
Creeping on out, just being there. And I'm sure with all of this construction, it may move, but I don't, the old people right here, they wouldn't let you mess with that gator. And if anybody messed with that gator, they would get shot by some of these old people around here for years back. It might have died, because to get that big, 12, 14 feet, probably 600, 700 pounds, that gator was probably 80 years old or more, you know.
Yeah. Hey, get out of the rain, Dover. You want to stand over
Yeah, let me
here?
get
We
out
can
of
go
the
back
rain.
up there, whatever y'all want to do here.
Hey, Gene,
Well, let's get out of the rain before it gets too bad.
How often would Ronnie come out here, like when those guys were up there playing something? Would he come out here fish and just
He'd come out here
get
and,
away from them and then think,
yeah, and
stuff like that?
if I knocked on the door when coming back here going to work at the paper mills, I'd stop by and knock on the door, and they'd be playing loud, you know. And they would keep playing, and Ronnie really didn't want nobody going in there and bothering him, you know. Joe Crimp could go anywhere, Joe could do anything. And it was too loud, I didn't want to be in there, you know. And when they're working up a song, they play the same thing over and over and over.
That's what Craig said, it'd get old.
Oh yeah, the only thing I want to hear over and over and over again is Hank Williams or Lefty Frizzell, old country
And you
music.
didn't know it was a hit yet, right?
No,
Gene?
And I'd come out here, and sometimes I'd walk by there, you know, they wouldn't know I was here. Fish, if I caught a fish or two, a speck or a brim or something, I'd go in and open the door, you know, put that fish in there, you know. The music would stop. Ronnie come out and grab that damn fishing pole from there on the dock.
Yeah, because he wanted to get one.
Yeah,
Hey, let's go on up here.
yeah, let's get out of this rain.
Did he ever, I thought I read or heard somewhere where Ronnie came out here and threw a couple lyrics off you, or, you know, he write something up and he kind of came out here and threw it off you out here on the dock?
A couple of times, but I can't remember what they were, you know. And he said, we're working on a new song, you know, and I can't remember which one it was.
That ditch right there.
I know in Alabama, I know when Ed King said, listen to what I dreamed about last night, when Ed played that lick on the guitar, Ronnie told him to keep going. And Ronnie came out here on the dock, and when Ronnie come back in the house, he had the words to Sweet Home Alabama written down, you know, the song already ready. And when he come in the door, he told Ed to keep playing, then he started singing, you know. What a nice place, man.
So it was right there, huh, Gene? Right there.
Yeah, right there in the joint of that.
Because I didn't think it was that close to the creek, but
The dock.
I guess
The
it
dock
was
was-
about right here.
The dock was right about there, on the side of that one. Yeah, right in this area. And the Hell House was only like 20 feet by 30 feet.
Yeah, it
you
wasn't
know.
very big.
It was right here. There may have been a foot or two over on that property, but it was right in this area right here.
Well, he's got room, he could build a hell house right here.
Yeah.
It might be on the setback.
The Hell House Bar.
This is
Yeah.
the new Hell House Bar.
Yeah, let me see that.
Come on. Now, this is a lot of work from being at a lot of bars, and I put my time in, and I studied a lot, and I came up with this, and with the help of my brother-in-law. This is where we get to hang out, and go back here, if you would, Griff,
Yeah.
and just show the view.
Scratch your back. Let me scratch your back.
I get to have a beer or whatever, and I can, when I do play Skynyrd music, I can just think of the Hell House sitting right there.
You can play almost any Skynyrd song from 74, 75, and it was created right where your bar sitting, you know, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I wish you'd let me know you wanted to do this before you bought this.
Oh, my wife found that, so she brought it home one day.
It's nice.
There's a guy in Stark.
I think we got it in Stark.
Oh, really? Did you see the black stuff he had, the black wood?
I wasn't there. My wife was. So she brought it home.
It's thick, and wide.
That guy that's been there forever?
It's a different guy.
Okay.
A piece about 19 and 20 inches long, about that wide. It's so dense. probably weighs 65 pounds.
And that wood's real heavy, right?
Real
dense,
heavy,
yeah.
real heavy. It's the densest wood on the planet. And he has quite a bit of it.
You know, I was there. I talked to him on my own. I didn't buy that day, but I went by and looked at it. But then my wife came up with this.
Is this the same guy? You guys know the same guy?
No, I mean, he knows him. I just was at a store one day.
That's cool as hell right there, man.
So I took a picture off the internet and I made a bunch of cups for the new bar. So it's Hell House Bar, 1973 to 1977. Oh, there's a couple.
I should have.
1973 to 77, and then reopened in 26.
Cool.
Till whenever. You can all have that. Play some Skynyrd.
That's cool. I got, when I come back up here, I'll bring you, I had 12 cups made with me and Ronnie playing poker 2 nights before the crash. And the other one was right after I went to work for him wearing that shirt that God forgives, I don't. You know, and I got it on a cup. I'll bring you a cup.
Well, here. Take some back and give to your friends and whatever you want.
Oh my God, my daughter is just she's had to go to.
And Griff, take some for you too.
She had to go to Santa Fe for a year and a half, but she just got her papers in the mail yesterday. She is now a Gator. She's been accepted into the UF.
Oh, congratulations!
She'll love these. She'll love this. Hell yeah!
It's better than the other option, right?
Yes, sir, buddy.
It serves 2 options: the Gator party and then the Skynyrd party.
Yeah.
Truth be told, my wife's a Gator, and we work there every day. And his kids went there. I'm glad it's not the other color in the other school.
My brother
Yeah.
graduated from there. He's a pharmacist.
Is he?
Yeah.
It's not as good as Texas Longhorns, but it's okay.
My daughter's going to. She graduated flight school at Tuskegee, Alabama, at 17 years old, 3 years ago. The Air Force said, we'll send you to the Air Force Academy, we're going to make a pilot out of you. And that's when they said, you need to go to college for a year, and we'll send you to the Air Force Academy. That cost $250,000 to go there. And so she said, well, you know, then she came back. Grandpa, I think I might want to fly helicopters. I said, well, you can fly anything you want to, honey. You can fly anything. Then she changed around. She said, you know, Grandpa, I might want to work on helicopters. I said, Chesney. I said, you can be a pilot, a fighter pilot, anything you want. Why you want to work on? She said, I kind of like them. So then the people she roommates with goes to UF. And so she met a couple of people, and she's going to be an archaeologist. And so she's taking archaeology.
Good for her.
Just came back from a trip. You know, yeah, good for her. She's smart as a whip, boy. She can do anything she wants to do.
Hey, Rich, for the folks that are right now going, Griff asked him how he came about getting the property. Can you tell that story?
Certainly. Who is it? Adam? Adam owned the property before. Is that his name? Adam?
Yes. Yeah, I think so.
Okay, so unfortunately he passed
Yeah, I'm
at a young age.
tell him that this thing
And
finished drying.
long story
Let them
short,
cracks open up as much
I
as
think he was trying to get it in a
then
trust or
seal
put it
that
in a
up with
trust
that
or something like that.
clear
And I think his
polyurethane.
untimely death,
And it'll stop.
it
Once
somehow
it
got
stops, it
owned
won't
by the
start back
bank.
up again.
And I've been in mortgage banking in the past, and know that the bank didn't want to own a property. So I think the property was for sale for 2 weeks, and my wife and I put an offer on it. We were living over on the river, and it was a house we decided to sell, and we wanted to live back here because it's just quieter and everything else. We wanted to be on the water still, and we found this to be the only virgin property, which happened to be, Skynyrd's Hell House. So it was just complete luck, and we knew what it was. Keith and I have been here many a time, day or night, whatever, and we've had a lot of fun here ourselves. We've had the celebratory beer.
Oh, so you used to come out here and you never even realized that one day you were going to own it.
Oh yeah, no.
You had no idea.
The first day we moved here, or pretty early on, Keith and his wife and my wife, who are sisters, came on over here probably about 10 o'clock at night, and we just kind of walked it ourselves. And there's a few houses out here, and never did we think that this was ever going to be the thing. And then it's just happened. Just, it is what it is.
So how long have you owned it now? Has it been like a couple of years?
Yeah, I think year and a half, maybe?
Yeah.
2.5.
And you actually got like some threats and things. Huh?
Yeah,
Like,
people weren't too happy with.
what did they think? Did they think you were going to like just
I think,
do something that's sacrilege to it?
I think so. I think people just think that, it should be kept.
Maybe they thought you were a disco fan or something.
Well, yeah, well, no, it wasn't. No, I think it's just people might, it's Facebook, so everyone has their own ideas. And they think that I'm here to just wipe away the history, which in fact there was nothing really here except for the dock, but the dock was wearing away by the day. And my brother and I can tell you, when we pulled it up, I've got pictures, I'll be glad to give them to you for you to publish. There's only about 40% of the dock that was there. It was just eroded.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So, for the
It was
record,
going to be gone forever if it wasn't taken when it was taken. It was going to be gone forever.
Yeah.
And what I'll say is there's nobody that could have better been suited to buy this lot than Rich and Laurie, to understand the history of it and the significance of it, and to honor it and respect it, and our family in general. So,
Yep.
I mean, it's actually pretty amazing. So.
Once the people realize what you've done with this, they'll change their attitude.
I hope so, because I get to be the curator through purchasing a property and of the location.
Once he does that thing on there, and
Yeah,
people
there's gonna
hear
be-
the story, especially see me coming down here and be part of this, because I wouldn't be a part of it if it was going to be just shambles, There's
Yeah.
no way.
I mean, the fact that you
You're doing great.
invited Gene and I here, and
Oh,
we have
please.
a podcast, and I mean, you didn't have to do that. You could have been some,
Well,
stiff-collared person
Sure.
that didn't care about anything. And so we're
I will tell you that everything that like the dock and anything that I have found here will not get thrown away. And quite honestly, I'll give anyone a piece of dock that cares about the history. I've given Gene a piling today. Yeah, I'm really happy about that part. And that goes for anybody, any part of the band, any plane survivor, any fan. If we can somehow reach out, I'll be happy to do whatever, because I'm just here to pass along. I'm not here to make a buck, not $1 off this stuff. Don't want to. I'm just happy I can look over there and think of what happened 50 years ago. Darn near 50 years
Gene
ago.
will tell you, like, for the first 20, 30 years after that plane crash, it was like, you didn't talk about it, did you, Gene? Nobody would walk up to somebody in the band and go, hey, how about that plane crash? I mean, that's just, it was kind of like swept under the rug.
Yeah.
But I like to describe it now as far as some of the archaeology linked to it. It's almost like, the Civil War. It's been so long. If you found a Civil War bullet, you wouldn't go, oh, this is horrible, It's like the plane crash stuff,
Well, the only thing is, at the end of the day, this is what I think about, is that your friend died.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think about it all the time.
And that, I'm sorry for that, and that just sucks.
Yeah.
Yep.
But life goes on, like
Yep.
this property, when, I can't remember the guy's name now, bought the property.
Adam?
Howell?
Something
Something like that, I believe.
His wife didn't want him to buy it. She didn't. She tried to talk him out of it. You don't want to buy it. And I don't know if you ever been to his house where he lived at on the river, across the river. $10 million mansion. I mean, marble. I mean, and then right next door, another big mansion. That's where his daddy lives. And they got into some kind of investing into something, and boom! I mean, just made, I don't know how much, but so anyway, this wasn't her style, and so she didn't want him to buy it, but he went ahead and bought it and put it into the church, made a church thing out of it, and then when boom, he died, boom, right off the bat, boom, bam, she put it up for sale, I mean, he wasn't even in the ground.
Was this the last lot?
Yes.
Yeah.
It was?
We started building in really January of last year. A year ago, and we moved in October.
There's 13 lots, almost 13 lots.
On the water.
Because
On the
didn't they
water.
tell Adam he had a certain amount of time that he had to build something on here or something? Could you just hold on to the lot if you wanted? A lot of subdivisions, I won't let you do that.
I don't know. You know, we always intended on building, so when we bought it, that was never discussed. I guess not with us, but we always planned on, you know, we let everyone know we're buying it. Sorry for the dog and the.
Oh, that's okay.
That's all right. Hey, that's okay. But
And then Ollie, that's Ollie.
when Adam bought it, he put it into a church.
Yeah.
And by,
Bless you.
by doing that, that probably overrode the
Oh, okay. The rule.
Yeah.
rules. You know, become being a church,
Plus, in a
non-profit church.
historical, you
Yeah,
know,
and who was going to bitch him on about a church saying owning some property? It'd be crazy, you know.
Yeah, and you know, we've had a party here. I had a few friends over and had a little band playing, and they played Simple Man about 3 weeks ago. A band called Julia Gulia. It's one of our favorite local bands, if not our favorite. You know, and they played Simple Man right here
And Sweet Home Alabama.
and Sweet Home.
Wow.
And I stopped the party and just said, hey, if anyone really doesn't know, I don't think this song's been sung here for 50 years.
Unless
And-
somebody came up here in their boat and
Yep.
did it, you know.
Now it gets played all the time on my audio, but they played it live, and it's like that would be.
And they did it well.
They did it great. No,
Well, y'all did a good job, and nobody would be.
Well, I'm totally happy about the fact that you got it, you know. It's,
No, well, thank you.
Thank you, buddy.
You know?
I'm a history lover, and I love rock and roll. And my brother-in-law, we talk about this stuff all the time. We're checking out videos, and we'll text each other. Check this one out. You know, of course, Nebworth is one of our favorites.
You know what?
Coming out on the tongue.
You know what? This line of houses stopped.
Where it stopped, or
No.
why it stopped?
This 13 lots. You know what? It stopped. A monster buck come through here every morning,
Oh,
every
yeah?
night.
Oh,
I'm talking about a
You mean-
monster buck.
You mean just before they started building down here?
Even after they started building,
Yeah.
they come right straight through here, right down this creek, for years. And then this line of houses stopped it. You know, he probably, I doubt anybody shot him because all the locals knew it, but he had to change his.
And what year did Ronnie come out? Did the guys come out? Was it 72 that they came out here?
72 or 73.
Yeah. And they would come every morning when they weren't touring, right? They'd come out here and they'd stay out here for 10, 12 hours even.
Yeah, and Ronnie worked during the week, and then he'd come out here after he got to work, and they'd rehearse half of the night, and he'd go home, get a couple hours sleep, and go back to work the next day, you know.
Did you get that picture I sent you of the entrance?
Yeah.
That's cool, huh?
Yeah, that's super cool. I've not seen a picture like that before.
Yeah. That's,
So that was awesome. You know, the reason why we're here, the main reason why we're here today is Chris, who works at the University of Florida. He's a big Rolling Stones fan, as well as a Skynyrd and a Black Crowes fan. He wanted to talk to you about your time with the Stones, and I'm going to pass this over to you. You want to get your notes? You'll get your notes.
Get your notes, and let's find
Yeah,
a place.
let's talk about
Make
that.
yourself more comfortable.
Yeah, some more comfortable out of this
The
wind.
Stones might put you on your butt, right?
Okay, so Gene and those guys are over there, and they're getting ready to do a little interview at his friend. And so right over here, that's where the Hell House sat. That's I was thinking it was more on the side of the house over there, but Gene says it was right here. And it does kind of, I don't know, it looks a little close to me, but it doesn't matter. I know that it was on this property, and either if it was here or a little bit more this way. But little did those guys know that one day there was going to be a big, nice home built here by a Lynyrd Skynyrd fan and a pool. I mean, if they were sitting around going, you know, one day I predict there's going to be a pool right here. Of course, they would have loved that pool to jump in, come right out of the Hell House and jump in that pool. So this is where the Hell House was. And then you go down here. This is where he drives the Jeep through, huh? And so you walk down here, and over here is where the the trail was going to the Hell House, because the tree, we saw where the tree was. So these were actually sunk down in that water with the planks on top, where Ronnie used to stand barefooted and write all that music. And right there's where the pine tree was, and they couldn't save it. So that's what it looks like today.
Ready.
Okay, well, I got a nice little surprise here from Rich, and he went back and grabbed a piece of the dock wood that he had stashed, and he's donating this to the podcast. And we're going to do something really, really cool with this, Rich. I appreciate that, man.
Well,
You know, it means a lot. This is great because Rich is really sympathetic to the legacy of Lynyrd Skynyrd, and this is going to mean a lot to a lot of people. And thank you, Rich, for donating that.
my pleasure. I just want to keep the legacy alive and do
Yeah.
what I can to contribute to it. And Gene and I can smell that and tell you that's a piece of
Yeah, and Ronnie Van Zant stood on the top of that thing right there, and right here's where the building was, where Lynyrd Skynyrd Hell House stood. We're standing right there.
That's where the hell house was, right?
Yeah.
Get
So
little chills right here. But yeah, and Ronnie wasn't alone there. Someone else might have been there too.
yeah,
Some of the greatest music ever written, ever recorded was wrote right here.
Right where we're
practice right here, buddy.
What about the fishing down there? Was it pretty damn good too?
Yeah, good vision, but I wouldn't stand there because it was so loud, hot. I couldn't stand it. I'd come by and I'd go down there and go fishing. Just open the door. Appreciate it.
Hey, thank you for your hospitality, inviting Gene and I. And,
It's an honor.
And you know, this right here is really good for people to know. You know,
Well,
it's good for people to know.
obviously it's a piece of America, so
Yeah,
let's share it where we can.
You
right?
could have been some disco lover that didn't care about Lynyrd Skynyrd, but it's kind of crazy the way things work, you know.
No, turn out to love them even more, as it turns
Well,
out. Good people.
It's good
So,
that somebody like you saves a legacy.
Yeah.
You know? And,
well, do our part.
Thank you, Rich.
Thank you. Thank you for coming out. This has been a great day. Thank
all
you.
right, thank you.
Gene going down the road with a piece of Hell House dock in the back of his truck. That thing weighs about 500 pounds, and took 4 of us to load it in the back of that truck. And what it is, it's a main pylon to the Hell House dock.